Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 212A. It's the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. This one has 3 marks of excellence and it's sitting on the southwest spawn of Live Oaks under the command of Oxagon of ANIML. And just looking to see, yes, Soul Collectors in the game in an MX1390 and also KV 1982BG of ANIML as well. That's quite a mouthful, that one. Or is it KM 1982? Okay, well, game started and he's headed down into the dip. Whether he'll stay here or not is another matter. He has got a 203mm howitzer capable of doing 900 alpha, 52mm pin, 10.4 meters on the burst radius, between 12.5 and 28 seconds of stun. Okay, he's gone straight to the aim, looking for an enemy target. There's nearly always some light tank who tries to make a quick run into there. In this game, it's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks, and the enemy team's got an ELC M90. And whoa, we spotted 2 enemy tanks sitting up at the spotting bush, so I think the SU-101 is going to be on the receiving end. Okay, our guys have gone down to the dip. KM 1982 is in the Leopard prototype in this one. Whereas Soul Collector, the AMX1390, I think he'll be able to do quite a bit of spotting for us. But nobody's moved up to the spotting position, which is in grid square C5. Rounds out in the Leopard. Oh, look at that. Both players went for the same spot. And the shells landed. And it looks like both of them managed to get hits. 293 hit points of damage. But I suspect that the Batchat actually managed to get some stun assist off that one. Because I think his shell was the one that landed second. We're still in reload, but we're almost there. And there we go. Rounds out. Progetto backs into the shot. And he takes 308 hit points of damage. The standard reload for the 212A is 37.39 seconds. But you can see 37.53 is the reload for... oh, and he didn't live very long. In fact, actually, it was KM who got the kill. Yes, 27.53 is the reload for Oxagon. And that's pretty short, actually, for a very high caliber weapon. And Soul Collector's moving across the map. I think he's been spotted. Has he? Well, we can see a Centurion 7-1 out in the open, but it's the Progetto we've got to worry about. Oh, well, he takes some splash, but it's only 93. I say we've got to worry about it. It's because MX1390 Soul Collector is very close to him, and he could take revenge. Oh, and that was the Strib 1030 killing our Hawk 30. So let's see if we can return the favour. We're almost loaded. He's moving into a firing position. That was the Batchat. That's from Oxagon. Both shots on target. We picked up 415 hit points from that one, which is, well, it's fairly good on a non-penetrating shot. That T49, well, I think he looks a bit worried because our guys are actually getting fairly close now. And we can see that Oxagon's managed to move up, or not Oxagon's, Soul Collector's moved up and displaced that Progetto, who's now elsewhere. Rounds out. Well, the T49 on the enemy team has gone down to our STB1. And the enemy's got to be worried now because both of Soul Collector and KM are actually really close to the enemy cap area. Although they are taking damage. Oh, there's the Progetto. He wasn't got rid of, but now he is. That was a kill, and that actually went to our G-Saw. Oh! Well, there goes the strip. He didn't last. Oxagon got the kill there. And their Leopard is taking fire from our guys again. He's hiding behind that building, but of course that's a perfect shot for Oxagon to put a shell in there, and he's almost loaded. So, yeah, I think that Leopard's about to get hammered. Well, he's actually loading the non-stun HE for extra effect, and he killed him! He wiped out the Leopard with one shot. Now, this non-stun HE is capable of 1200 alpha, 65mm of pen, but it's only got a damage radius of 5 meters. But because that Leopard was actually hiding between the buildings, he just slotted the shell in between, and he took the full force of that one. So, a lot of damage there. Tiger Mouse cutting across, goes into the dip, but he takes around 499. We're loading the non-stun HE again. Now, Soul Collector has pulled back from the previous position, and yeah, those guys are actually coming over with some intent, so we might have to retreat. The Batchat probably ought to move first. He's just pumped one round in. We're almost loaded, and rounds out. And that's a solid hit for 422. And there goes the Batchat again. He's going to fire his last shell in about 10 seconds, or less than 10 seconds now. We're almost a few seconds away from getting another shot. There's the Batchat's third shot. Now he needs to get out of here quick, because otherwise he might get spotted. We're switching from the Tiger Mouse to the Skoda. Fully dialed in, rounds out, lands behind him. Unfortunately, no damage from that one, because of course he was just outside the blast radius. The enemy is putting up a concerted attempt. Looks like we didn't have such a good effect on the railway line, because there's a couple of enemy tanks on the railway line, and they are coming straight for us now, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. Well, not coming straight for us, we can hit them on the side. That was a good hit, 428. The non-stun HE is having a dramatic effect, and we are picking up the stun assist because the Batchat is using his stun shells on that Skoda. Oh, and that's another direct hit. So I think we've got more stun assist. Unless he got rid of it. There's the mouse. Rounds out. No. He fires late. I think he was trying to get the rear of the vehicle. They are getting very, very close now. He's trying to put the vehicle between him and the mouse. Pulling back just a little bit more. The enemy's getting very, very close to us. Okay, going for the mouse. We can see him now. He's using the vehicle for cover. We might have a shotgun here. If this guy gets... Oh, he spotted us. Well, that was a pretty cataclysmic reaction for the Batchat. We've taken damage against the mouse. A lot of ram damage. 331. The enemy Arty's firing. And that's the end of our game. It was an FE3 805 that fired the tier 9. And we're out of the game. The only remaining teammate is, well, that turns out to be Soul Collector. And he's right at the, over by the railway line, near the bridge. He's managed to make it across, but I think they know where he is. And they are capping. Now, with the MX1390, he's got only 8 hit points left. If he shows himself, he'll probably get taken out very, very quickly. He has got 3 marks of excellence, and I suppose he could go for the enemy Arty and try and kill them, but it'll be, it's definitely going to be a loss, this one. Yes, they've got 2 in the cap, so they're intent on ending this game as quickly as they can. Okay, can we see? Well, that SU-101 pulled back very quickly. And I think he realizes if he tries to come over the railway line and kill Soul Collector, he's going to have a whole lot of trouble. And that's it. The game's over. Well, sadly, this one was a defeat, but it was a defeat that they went down fighting right to the very end. You saw how Oxagon rammed into the mouse to get as much more hit points as he could, even at the end, because he knew there was no way he was going to survive. And even if he tried to run up out of the gully, the other enemy tanks would have taken him out. So there was absolutely no point in going any further. But just collect as many hit points as you can from a ram. That was the third class tanker for Oxagon of ANIML in the 212A. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 18 here. At least I think that's an 18. No, it's 11 actually. My eyesight is getting terrible. As well as a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, and a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. His win rate was 5,469, which is super income and quite a bit more. And I doubt that you can actually fault Oxagon for this game, because he was working it as hard as he could, and so was the Bat Chat for that matter. They were both putting out as much damage. And Soul Collector was doing his spotting, and he was still alive at the end, which meant that he was doing well. And so was KM. Well, KM was dead at the end of the game, but he did do a good job during the game as well. But sadly, it just didn't work out. So let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be Oxagon with 4,596 hit points. Second highest damage turned out to be the Leopard 1 on the enemy team, got 4,465, and that was the guy that was actually, was it? No, that wasn't the one that was killed by Oxagon. This was the one who was killed by Oxagon. 2,932 for him. So, yes, he unfortunately sat between the houses and Oxagon eliminated him. But this guy in the Leopard, he got a tank sniper and 4,465. And in third place was the Skoda T56 on the enemy team with 3,131. When it came to kills, we can see that the Skoda managed to get 4 kills, the Leopard 1 managed to get 3, and Oxagon got 2. And when it came to base XP, we can see the Skoda managed 1,152, the BZ176 1,144, and the third place was the Mouse, who managed 801. And we can see that Soul Collector, if we look down the list to see where they are, if I can find them, there's Oxagon. There's Soul Collector in the MX1390. He got patrol duty and 254 hit points of damage and 535 in the XP. And KM, where are you? There you are. Leopard prototype, 2,445, 1 kill and 283. So they weren't doing, they were spotting. You can see here that he mentioned Soul Collector actually did get a huge amount of spotting assists. Once this comes up, 7,424. So it was a huge amount. So yes, you can't deny he was doing a lot of work for the team, but sadly the rest of the team weren't doing as much as they should be. Anyway, detail, 14 shots fired from a 212A, some of them non-stun HE, which really did have a good effect. 8 direct hits, 2 penetrating shots and 12 splash. 4,596 hit points of damage, of which 4,107 were up more than 300 meters. The difference being the Mouse was shot at close range. 1 hit received, and it was a hit by way of splash. And that actually came from the FP3805 on the enemy Arty after the Mouse rammed us. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 442 hit points of damage assistance. 6 stuns actually caused, but no stun assist out of it. But he actually lost 11,025 credits on a premium count, but he did get 1,155 experience points out of that one as well. So sad that that one was a loss, but we do have another battle for you to watch, because yes, Oxagon sent us in another. He does send in a lot of replays, some of them really, really good, but he plays a lot. So let's have a look at his second replay and see if he can do or get a win in that one. The second battle is on the Mountain Pass map, And 3 marks of excellence on an M53, M55. Game on. Now, I'll be interested to see how he's going to play this. Is he going to go to the standard position or up the hill or go down to the valley? Well, looks like he's going to a standard position over here to start with. Taking away all these trees, all it does is actually make it more difficult for the Arty to survive when, of course, the enemy does turn up at our cap. As they eventually, you know, obviously every team will suffer some damage. T-54 takes a splash for 84. And it looks like there was an unspotted tank there, an ELC, who might have actually taken some damage as well. I'm not sure. He's not showing any damage loss, but he was right next door to where the shell actually landed. Okay, looking up the ice road. Enemy tanks have been seen up there. In fact, there's an LT-432 in sight of some of our guys at the moment, and it looks like he's shooting at our ELC. Hoping the ELC is going to spot those guys a little further up. And the enemy is coming over the bridge road, so we can do something about this. And look at that, there's a Borsig. And they're really a favourite for Artys because they're so thin. They normally take penetrating shots, and that is a low roll penetrator on the Borsig. 868 hit points. Now these shells will do 900 alpha, 52mm pen, 10.5 meters on the blast radius, 12.5 to 28 seconds. So that Borsig, exposing himself when he did, actually invited a very big hit. And look at these 3 guys together. Now, can he get more damage off these ones? I think he's going to. Rounds out. Here we go. All 3 of them took some damage or other. The T-54D and the Centurion 1 both took actual damage, but the critical hit was on the T-32. Okay, it's very fast reload. Standard reload, 40.27 seconds. Oxagon's got 29.65. Oh, the T-32 took it this time. 348. And you know what they say, or what I say anyway, spread the Arty love around. As many enemy tanks you can hit in a short period as possible, because if you can hit as many as you can, you get a Confederate medal. Even if you lose, that could mean extra hit points, extra credits rather, and extra XP. Lined up, rounds out. Splashed the T-32 as he went past, and he's tracked. Oh, and he got the rest of stun assist. Excellent. Perfect. He tracked him just in the right spot, so all our guys could get a perfect hit on him. T-54's hiding at the back, using the rocks for cover. So he's an excellent target for Arty, because of course if Arty can drop a shell down on top of him, rounds out straight away. It just overshot, but it still stunned him. Now in this game we do have Soul Collector, but KM's not in this one. Soul Collector's actually in a Ho-Re 1. He's covering the bridge road at the moment. Now we're going to change position again, see if we can get a better shot. He had to move over here in order to hit the west side of the map. So it's very difficult to hit the west side if you're right up against this rock here. Okay, from this position, he can get that T-54. Just trying to come out of the bowl. And we're loaded. Rounds out. 234 from that one. You notice how Oxagon's using half and half on the shells to actually give him options, so he can actually maximize his damage. He's also carrying armor piercing rounds as well, and these armor piercing rounds don't do as much damage as the similar caliber, because remember this is a 203mm and there aren't any tanks with 203mm. The maximum caliber is 187, but he can certainly do a lot of damage. 600 alpha, 314mm pen with these armor piercing, and he just got a direct hit on the T-54 as he came up that ramp. And he's still missing a lot of hit points. Let's see what we can do. Some more shots. He's still loading the HE, the non-stun HE. And of course, if it hits him whilst he's in that corridor there, well, he's going to be reflecting the damage off the walls onto himself. Just like that leopard in the previous game. He stuck between two buildings and the shell went off between them and he got wiped out. The scores are even at the moment. We've won the ice road. We haven't won elsewhere. And we now do have a bit of a problem, because our bat chat is the only one who's holding back the horde from this cap area. You can see the Borsig as well. Now he's a nice juicy target for us because we can get him with one shot. Rounds out. Unfortunately, we didn't on that occasion because RNG said no. But the enemy sent their ELC to try and stop us on the ice road. And I think they're going to fail. And whoa, the ELC does go down. Unfortunately, or one of our guys went down. It was the ELC. But their ELC also went down. But that kind of halts our ability to get to their cap, because now they've got an ISU 152K there. And he's got the M10, or BL10, I should say, cannon, and that should stop the SMV CC67 from moving any further. Now we're up on hit points, but we've got the same number of kills. T-54's come up behind our SMV, shooting him in the ass. If we can put a round onto this guy. Rounds out. Will he pull back? Yes, he does, and he takes some damage. And it's stunning him. The stun shells are the right selection under these circumstances. Our SMV dies. He didn't have much left, only 7 hit points. The T-54 got him, but there's nothing between the T-54 and us at the moment, which is not looking so good. And our guys are pulling back towards our cap area. Now, there is a tiny little area over here where they put some trees in. Not much. Just have to make do what we can. Try and get behind that tree and you're going to have difficulty with the rock base there. Probably get 1 or 2 shotguns at most, if we're lucky. As long as the guys up the hill distract them. And you can see he's looking further down the ice road for that T-54 to come back. And Soul Collector's looking. There he is. Well, Soul Collector got him. So we've got to reload again. Loading the stun HE, because of course it's much more sense to stun the enemy, give our teammates a chance to actually take them out. If you use the non-stun HE, then they would still be able to move about, even if they suffered more damage. Backchat's being helpful. He's actually going down there to have a quick look. The interesting thing is now the enemy only has 4 tanks remaining. And there's the Borsig. Rounds out. The Batchat didn't see the... Oh, that was the UDAs on our team getting wiped out by their M53, M55. And we found the T-54D, but he's in a position where it's difficult for us to get a shot on him. We'd have to relocate to do it. We've got a red line. And that's all down to the fact that we're right next door to a mountain. The other Arty in our team is firing in that general direction. Yes, that might work. Not with that tree down. Oh, Borsig. Now we can get it if we can get the shell close enough. Rounds out. Oh, it was too far away. That was unfortunate. RNG said, no, I'm going to give you a short one this time. So we lost the back chat. It's 3 against 4. We've got 2 Arty and 1 tank destroyer. And that tank destroyer turns out to be Soul Collector in his Hori 1. Well, the Hori 1 is quite a strong tank destroyer. And we're aiming for the end of that road, hoping that Soul Collector's going to spot him. Oh, that's enemy Arty aimed at us. Yep. You can hear the rumble. I think that hit the rocks just in front of us. You can probably see the trees are knocked down, and that's what he's working on. I don't think the Borsig will try and make a run at us. And the T-54D, well, he's got very low hit points, but there's... Oh, he does make a run at us. No, I'm very pleased to be wrong there, because that kill goes to Soul Collector. And the Arty on the enemy team is now going for, well, our Hori. I think that was aimed at the Hori. It may have been at the M53. And here comes the ISU 152K with his BL10. And that's a solid hit, but... Oh, we can survive for a little while. The T-54D might spot us. But we can loop the shell over the rock, I believe. So we've got 2 rounds of the stun HE. The Soul Collector gets one of them. Now we just need to hit this ISU. We're only a few seconds away from loading. And the ISU 152K is paying no attention to us, but he can't. Oh, lovely shot. That's it. Now it looks like Soul Collector's going to go one way and we're going to go the other. No, he's actually just knocking the trees down to provide cover, which the enemy Arty will fire at. Oh, that was a shell by the enemy Arty. I don't know if you saw that, but he actually fired at the same position that Oxagon was in just a short while ago. Okay, Soul Collector's going one way, Oxagon's going the other. If they meet the M53, M55 coming the opposite way, then they'll shotgun. Hopefully they'll both arrive at the enemy cap at the same time. We've got 2 minutes to go. There's not going to be enough time to cap, so we definitely need to find that M53, M55. Now I suspect that the M53 probably come this way, in which case Oxagon's going to get a nice shotgun. He's loaded the non-stun HE. There he is, just as I predicted. So what's he going to do? We've got a shot. Not at the moment when he hides there, but that is a kill shot. And that wins the game. Very nicely done. Well, after the loss in the 2-1-2A, it was very nice to get a victory in the M53, M55. That was a first-class tanker for Oxagon of ANIML in the M53, M55. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15. He also managed to get a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got a high caliber again for getting the most damage in the game. His win rate was 6,674, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Oh, highest damage was 3,974 hit points. Second place was Soul Collector with 3,427. Third place was the T-54D on the enemy team with 3,049. The enemy 212A, who got a Confederate out of that one, so he obviously hit a lot of tanks but didn't get any kills. So it does prove what I'm saying. Even if you actually hit a lot of the enemy Even if you lose the battle, you still end up getting the Courageous Resistance Award for extra achievement for getting a battle hero or an epic medal in a losing or drawn game. So that guy's going to benefit because he got that medal. When it came to kills, the high scorer was, yes, Soul Collector, 5 kills to him. 3 kills went to the Udas 033, and 2 kills went to Oxagon, and to 4 members of the enemy team, their T-54D, their M53, M55, their Leopard prototype, and their Scorpion, all 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, it's, Soul Collector, 1,067 to him, 1,035 went to Oxagon. They were the only 2 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the ELC M90 getting 866 in 3rd place. He fired 17 rounds, so nearly used up all his ammo. Not quite, but he spread the ammo around so he could actually fire the right combinations in the right directions. 7 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 14 splashes. 3,974 hit points of damage, of which 3,347 were at more than 300 meters. So yes, he was looping shells over that rock into the enemy fairly close. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, 1,114 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. Now, he made a small loss out of this game, only 717 credits lost. But that's mainly because he didn't get much stun assist out of that one. On the low side. And he did make 7,762 experience points out of it, again, thanks to it being a ×5 day. But yes, what a difference between the 2 games. One game in the 2-1-2A where the enemy seems to do exceptionally well, even though Oxagon's putting in maximum effort. I'm afraid his teammates let him down, but in this one, Soul Collector didn't let him down at all. And Soul Collector came out with some really good results as well. So it just goes to show they can make quite a magical platoon, because then they end up winning the game, Arty and Soul Collector working together. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.